We are living in historical times. For the first time in history, there are more people who are connected to the internet than those who are not. For the first time in history, technology is enabling us to communicate in real time with anyone, anywhere, with audio and video. Technology is radically transforming the way that we live. It's transforming the way we entertain ourselves, transforming the way that we shop. It's transforming the way that we communicate, the way that we do business, and even the way that we do church. Because of the times that we are living in, at Asia Pacific Media, we believe this is an opportunity for us to make history. To make history by leveraging this technology to create communities and partnerships that were not possible before. To make history by equipping thousands of media workers all across Asia. By breaking barriers and providing training to new countries and new people groups. By being on the cutting edge and finding new ways to use technology to communicate the truth, hope, and love that can only be found in the person of Christ. Our prayer is that through our efforts that we might change the history of a life, the history of a church, and maybe even the history of a nation. We are living in historic times. Partner with us and let's make history together.
Hey guys, I'm here at GCF South Metro in Las Piñas, and I'm so excited to announce that our next church media conference, Limitless, will be right here. Get ready for an incredible day of inspiring sessions with hands-on workshops, opportunities to connect with other media fellows, and so much more. Hey, let's explore new ways to use media for ministry and take your creativity to the next level right here in GCF South Metro on May 24th, 2025 in our Limitless conference. Don't miss the opportunity to be part of something truly limitless. See you at Limitless 2025.
Yo,
Yon.
good evening.
Magandang gabi sa lahat ng naka-tune in sa ating webinar tonight. Maraming salamat po for joining us.
Yes, good evening sa 44 na viewers natin ngayon and welcome to Media and Ministry Forum webinars powered by Asia Pacific Media. Ako si Pat and we are a media ministry based here in Ortigas Center, Philippines, and our mission is to advance the gospel by empowering Christ followers to effectively use media and technology. Ayun.
So yun, magandang gabi po sa inyo. Ako po si JR Manalo from the video production team ng AP Media. Sa lahat po na naka-tune in yan, maraming maaga ngayon kaya pa. So let us know naman sa comments kung saan po kayo galing, anong church po kayo belong para ma-acknowledge po namin kayo, mag-greet namin kayo. So batiin natin yung mga maagang dumating ngayong gabi. So sino mga una dito? Ito si highlight na natin si Miss Burnett Silmon. Oh, sabi niya, from Baguio City, Shalom International Ministries, AG Church. Magandang gabi po sa inyo, ma'am.
Ayun. Nandyan din si Pastor Neil Fajardo. Yan, shout out kuya. Good evening po from Antique.
Okay, si Max Samson. Magandang gabi.
Yes, si Neil from Church of Christ, Los Baños, Laguna. Ayun.
Suki natin si Ian, nandiyan si Ian, what's up daw. So nakakatawa naman ito si Emmanuel, tinag niya lahat ng kanyang media team.
Yeah, so please tag nyo yung mga churchmates niyo, mga ka-teammates niyo sa church media so that all of us will learn tonight.
Oh, highlight natin sila kasi nagtatanong kung free daw yung yung pag-acknowledge. Free po ang pag-acknowledge sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat po for supporting, joining, learning with us sa ating mga webinar na ito.
Yeah, actually kasi every time na pinopromote natin yung mga webinars natin, merong mga nagtatanong kung free ba yung webinar na ito. So sige nga, mag-type ka. If it's your first time, type new dito sa chat para alam namin kung first time ninyong manood ng webinar. Yeah. Pero yeah, we want to let you know that this is a free thing that we offer sa Asia Pacific Media and we're happy to do it to equip the body of Christ.
Well, we've been doing it since 2020 kaya Pat, no? Libre. Ang nagbabayad lang yung boss namin sa mga sa mga in-invite namin na guests. So siya lang nagbabayad.
So para doon sa mga bago sa mga viewers natin and you are wondering what is Media and Ministry Forum. So this is a community that's over 8,000 people now.
Wow.
Made up of pastors and church media workers. It was born during the pandemic, dahil sa need ng online ministry. We set it up so that we can help each other, sharing insights, hosting webinars, and mentoring sessions to empower members in their media ministry. Ayun.
So para sa mga media workers natin, for you and by you. Siyempre mga media workers din kami, mga volunteers sa church. So para sa atin lahat itong group na ito. So before magsimula sa ating webinar, kaya Pat, remind natin sila sa mga important na mga mangyayari this year. Unang-una, ang ating Limitless Conference 2025. So mga nakapunta sa first Limitless namin last year? Last year. So invite again. 2023. Ngayon na lang ulit natin gagawin 2025. Once every 2 years ginaganap natin ating Limitless Conference. So May 25, May 24. Mark your calendars. May 24, 2025.
So para doon sa mga bago, ano ba yung Limitless Conference? Ito ang conference para sa mga church media volunteers. Ayan. So ikaw ay nagme-minister through audio, through graphics, camera, itong conference ay para sa inyo. Ayun. So just go to apmedia.org/limitless kasi bukas na yung registration. And first 200 registrants, di ba? They get
200. Good deal na yun. Yung ibabayad pala nila sa Limitless Conference, 650 pesos. May food na kasama na yun. One day conference yun. May mga workshops na talaga namang hindi nyo dapat ma-miss. May shirt kayo pag nakapasok kayo sa first 200 natin.
Yeah, ayun. So, ngayong gabi din, as always, we give out merch from Asia Pacific Media. So if you wanna win a t-shirt from Asia Pacific Media, makinig kayong mabuti sa lecture at ituturo ngayong gabi. And we will give out a question later on after the lecture. At kung masagot mo yon, you have a chance to win at AP Media Works.
And don't forget po to send stars kung itong mga webinar nito ay nakakatulong po sa inyo sa inyong ministry for us to to help us continue creating meaningful content kagaya nito. Please send stars. Yon.
Ayun.
So tag niyo yung mga friends, invite them to join sa ating webinar tonight kasi excited itong topic na to. Ang topic natin, putok na ito eh. Narinig natin si AI. Intro to AI for church ministry. Kung hindi mo alam kung paano kayo magiging involved, paano niyo ma-utilize ang AI, I think before mag-start itong teaching natin, invite niyo na po, tag niyo na ang inyong mga co-workers, mga ka-minister ninyo sa inyong church, invite them to this webinar tonight.
Ayun. So this webinar will be 2 parts, no? So tonight is part 1 and next 2 weeks will be part 2. At ang topic again is Intro to AI for Church Ministry. So as technology rapidly evolves, AI has become a tool that churches can leverage to enhance their outreach, streamline operations, and create engaging content that spreads the gospel.
Okay, so to guide us sa timely and practical discussion ito, we're thrilled to have a special guest tonight, si Sir Martin Corber. So siya ang aming ka-ministry dito sa office. He's a missionary from Germany, a skilled web developer, programmer, and a passionate tech enthusiast. He's also an integral part sa AP Media team, where he uses his expertise to support churches and ministries across the region. So Martin, magandang gabi sa iyo. Welcome to the webinar.
Good evening.
Glad you're back.
Thank you. Magandang gabi sa lahat.
Yun, Tagalog kagad
Ayun.
me
So
here today.
yeah. So Martin's been with us here at Asia Pacific for how many years na, bro?
It's since 2019. So
2019.
it's almost 5 years now.
Yeah, almost 5 years. And so we're excited whenever you come up in our webinars to teach because I'm sure that we're gonna learn something new. So Martin, just a foretaste. What are they? What do they expect to learn tonight?
Yeah, tonight we will look mostly into ChatGPT and discover what we can do with it for our church media ministry. And then in 2 weeks, we will dive into different other AI tools we can use for the church. But today we will look how AI works and stuff like this.
Ayun,
So I'm really
okay.
excited for tonight. It's will be a fun evening.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So guys, make sure to grab your notebook and pens and get ready to take notes, no? And get ready to be inspired by tonight's session. So without delay, let's give the stage to Martin for Intro to AI for Church Ministry. God bless, bro.
Thank you. Yes. For those who don't know me, as Patrick and Jay were saying, I'm Martin from Germany. I'm a missionary here at AP Media since 2019. And I'm here with my family, with my wife and my 3 kids living here in the Philippines now and serving at AP Media. I love programming, I love web development, I love graphic design, and I love everything what's have to do something with tech, especially AI. It is very fascinating, and there's so many cool and nice possibilities with AI, which help us to build the kingdom of God. And so that you don't miss it, that's why we do this webinar today. So we give you a short introduction to what's AI is capable of and what you can do with AI for your church. So we will have, in 2 weeks, we have this second session, and we will also have another session later on where we talk more specific about AI and sermons, how to create sermons with AI. And I'm looking forward to this as well. And I also help my organization in Germany to do their digital work and to use AI and get everything more automatic and stuff like this. So I'm really helping them to use this. When we look in the Bible and we look at Paul, when he was in his age, there were the Romans who lived in this area and who brought a lot of new technologies of that time to that time. So for example, they brought the streets. They brought a mailing system into this area and Paul was using all these technologies to do his ministry at these times. And so, how, like Paul did use all these technologies, we should use the technologies what are given to us in our time. And AI is one of them, and it will help us to write content for social media, do emailing, and do so much more we will discover today. And I hope you will get some benefits out of this time together today. So we will have a second session in 2 weeks where we dive into more AI tools, so other tools than ChatGPT. Today we will be focusing on ChatGPT. We will try to understand what is ChatGPT, what it's capable of. Let me start my presentation so that you can read with me. We will learn some practical applications for church media and also other areas of your church. And at the end, we will also address critical questions and potential concerns about AI, because that's a very important topic when we want to use AI in our churches, right? So let's dive into the first point. That's what is ChatGPT? And I just sent a prompt to ChatGPT, and we're asking it and said, okay, ChatGPT, what is ChatGPT? And ChatGPT answered to me, ChatGPT is an advanced conversational AI developed to simulate human-like interaction. It uses natural language processing, NLP, to understand queries and provide intelligent, contextually relevant responses. It's designed and able to assist users with a wide range of tasks, from creative content generation to problem solving. So that's what ChatGPT is all about. We need to understand how ChatGPT is working, right? So that we know what it is capable of and where are the limitations of it, to manage also the potential risks that are in AI. So how does ChatGPT work? Or let us make it more general. How does a large language model work? So ChatGPT is a large language model. What does this mean? These models are filled with a huge amount of data, and they are designed like a human brain to work like a human brain, to analyze things, to connect things, and to give us answers. So they are filled with data from the web, they are filled with books, they are filled with websites, with articles, with conversations, with videos, with audio, with everything you can think of, to give it as much information as possible. And all this input helps the model to understand how we talk, how we react, how we answer things, how we behave as a human being. So the model tries to find patterns. For example, if someone says, "How are you?" the normal answer would be, "Oh, I'm fine, thanks," right? So the model is looking in his huge database of informations about how would a human being react to the question, "How are you?" Right? And then it finds, okay, there is, oh, okay, I'm fine, right? And this is not doing it just like this one question or this one thing. It checks like 10,000 of options against each other and sees what is the most likely answer for that question. And then when it thinks it found a most likely answer, it will output that answer to us. So with this knowledge, we could think that this model also makes mistakes, right? Because maybe the pattern it found is not the pattern we would react, or it's not 100% the right thing. So that's very important to know that these large language models are not always 100% correct. I give you another example. For example, if you write "the sun is ... So the system is guessing the sun is shining, but it could also be the sun is bright, or the sun is hot, or the sun is whatever, right? So it really tries to guess, and sometimes it guesses right, and sometimes it guesses wrong. So we always have to check the answers and see if it's really correct, and before we use it for putting it out to something, we need to check if the informations we get are correct. So I had the problem sometimes that if the answers are more complex, then sometimes the system does not have the exact answer of, or it's just fill out the blanks with something what doesn't really belongs there, right? Sometimes, for example, if you do like historical things, there is a wrong date or a wrong name. If you do, like I had the problems with Bible verses, right? So there's a Bible verse, it sounds good, it sounds right, but if you compare it with your Bible, there's maybe a word wrong or something. So you really have to check the output of the system. You can compare it with a JPEG image, okay? So a JPEG image is a compressed image. So the compressing is trying to reduce the information by just having like the dots around a dot and calculate them, and then it calculates the dot in the middle and stuff like this. So, and sometimes you have artifacts in JPEGs. That's the problem of the compression, right? So when there is an artifact, the system or the computer tries to recalculate that dot, and maybe it's wrong, right? So in an image, it's not that important or not that bad because it just fits somehow there. But in a written answer, a word that can be totally giving the whole thing a totally different meaning, a totally different answer than it should actually give it to you. So that's how these large language models work, and that's also a danger. So we have to really be careful with the output of it, and we really have to check the output afterwards. So let's get into a little bit more into this thing. So what are the key features of ChatGPT, the large language model? So the first is content generation. That's the main thing for it, right? You can use it to help you write materials, posts, outlines, emails, protocols, summaries, and so much more, right? Then we have the brainstorming ideas. I like ChatGPT as a brainstorming partner, especially with the audio, so that I can brainstorm in the car, and afterwards I have everything written down in the chat so I can see what we talked about. It really helps me develop ideas about events or strategies or activities for a youth group or whatever. It's really helpful to brainstorm things with ChatGPT. For example, we had our 70 years anniversary of our missions agency, and we brainstormed a sentence which was, your story can be hope for someone. And this was just a nice sentence we got through brainstorming with ChatGPT. Then you can do process automation. Yeah? You can streamline tasks. You can use it to do the same thing over and over again. For example, when I'm programming things, you have to write these arrays. It's called arrays. So there's a lot of brackets and semicolons and commas and whatever, right? And it just brings the list I put in there in the form I need for my programming, and just saves me a lot of time, right? You can summarize things, right, with it, automate like summarizing newsletters or your sermon on some. We will look at this in a moment and see what you can do with ChatGPT. So how to access ChatGPT is actually very simple. Let me just go here. So this is the web of ChatGPT. So there is a website you can use for ChatGPT. We will look into it in a second. And there is like an app for almost every platform that you can download and use ChatGPT on your phone, for example. I like especially the audio on the phone because you can just talk like with another human on the phone with your ChatGPT. There is a free version of ChatGPT. You can use this, and there is a paid version of ChatGPT. If you use ChatGPT just once to see how it works, then use the free version. But if you want to use ChatGPT more frequently and you want to really put it into your processes in your church, you might think about a paid version of ChatGPT. So what's the difference? The free version has only a little amount of the newest AI model that you can use. So and after that it jumps to an older model, and the difference between the older model and the newer model is very significant. So you really see a huge difference between these two models. And with the paid version, you also can use your own GPTs. We will talk about this later. And then there is a business version, for example, you can use for teams, right? So if you want to use it in your church with more people, there is a team version of it. And also the paid version gives you the chance to tell ChatGPT not to use the data you input for training their models. And especially if you have maybe sensible data you put in there, then you want not ChatGPT to use this so that it's not in their system. But this is only working in the paid version. Yeah, that's the thing about ChatGPT. Okay, so let me see what I have here on my thing. Okay, that is later. So now we want to dive in a little bit into practical things with ChatGPT, right? So as I have my screen shared with you here, maybe you can make it a little bit bigger. So what can we use ChatGPT for in our ministry? So the first thing I want to show you is you can use ChatGPT to translate. That's a very simple task. So for example, you can say, please translate me the following into Tagalog. Hello, my name is Martin. I'm a missionary at AP Media, and I love this webinar. So I have the prompt already prepared here, so I just copy and paste, so it's a little bit faster than when I type them. So I copy this prompt here into this window, then I click this arrow, and ChatGPT will work for me. And you are the Filipino. You can now check if it's correct. Hello, ang pangalan ko ay Martin. Isa akong misyonero sa AP Media at gustong-gusto ko ang webinar na ito. So for me, who knows just a little bit of Tagalog, it sounds good. Maybe for native speakers, they could say it better, but I leave this to you. So what you can do now is, you can also say, ChatGPT, okay, can you translate me this sentence to Chinese? So I now put in, can you translate this into Chinese? So I just let ChatGPT work, and here is the Chinese version of what I just said. I can't read this because I cannot read Chinese, but what I can do now is, because maybe I want just to say it to someone, I can say, ChatGPT, can you write me the Chinese so I can speak it, right? So I just type this in here. And now ChatGPT is working. Sure, here is the Chinese transliteration, so you can speak it. Ni hao, wo du. Okay, I don't try to continue reading, but this is actually the way you could pronounce this Chinese sentence. I mean, this is a fun, right? But for example, if you have like Chinese people in your church, right, and you have an announcement or something, you could just let ChatGPT translate it for you, so you can give it also in Chinese to these people, or at least written in Chinese to these people. So it depends on your church ministry. So then another thing you can do with ChatGPT is you can draft an event invitation, for example, right? So when I wrote event invitations before, it took me a long time to really find the right words, to make it nice sounding, right, so that people are attracted to that event. And maybe in a few months we have Easter, right, so we can do an invitation for an Easter Sunday. So and maybe let's say we have a special Easter Sunday service with a potluck afterwards, and you want to encourage your members to bring friends. You also have this Easter special for the kids where they can color an egg, so they need to bring an egg to the church. And then they have like this Easter special, searching the egg in the backyard of the church. So let's ask ChatGPT to help us draft a nice invitation text for that. So here's the prompt. As I'm telling ChatGPT, let's create an engaging Easter invitation for our Easter party service in our church starting at 10 a.m. And we will have potluck afterwards. Everybody should bring some food, and it's a special Sunday to bring also friends. The kids will paint egg and have an egg search in the backyard. They need to bring an egg to color it. So let's see what ChatGPT is doing out of this. And you see the speed. I mean, I just press the enter button and it just starts writing the invitation, right? So celebrate Easter with us. Your invitation to our Easter party service. We have to insert the date, time, 10 a.m. location that we need to enter our church. Join us for a joyful Easter Sunday filled with worship, community, and fun for all ages. Here's what's happening. Uplifting Easter service, a time to celebrate hope and renewal. Potluck fellowship, bring a dish to share and enjoy a feast with friends and family. Kids activities, egg painting, and an exciting egg hunt in the backyard. What to bring for the kids? 1 egg per child to coloring. This is a special Sunday to bring your family and friends. Let's share the joy of Easter together. We can't wait to celebrate with you. See you there. Question, contact us at. So I think this is a nice invitation, but if you don't like it, you can just tell ChatGPT, can you create me another one, right? And it will just give you another option, right, for the invitation. I won't read this now just to save a little bit of time, but you see it's working totally, completely different invitation. Or if you want to have it totally different, you just tell ChatGPT, can you do this? Can you add this? Can you remove this? And it will just redefine and refine your invitation until you like it, and then you can use it wherever you want to use it. So let's say we want to post this on our social media, and yeah, so a text is nice, but we need actually a picture for it, right? So what should we do? So what I can do is, like, I can just tell ChatGPT, create me an image for our Easter Sunday, right? So let's see what's coming out there. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I typed it wrong. Sorry. Again, create me an image for Easter Sunday. So I just added another invitation. So now ChatGPT is connecting to DALL-E and now create an image for us. Let's see what's coming out. So here is our Easter Sunday celebration, worship and potluck 10 a.m. Okay, so we have an image here. If I want to have something specific there, right, then I need to tell it what I want to see on the picture. Most of the times I don't like text from ChatGPT on the image. I would probably add it by myself. So I just would tell ChatGPT, create the image without text. Or if I want to have like a specific image, I could say, for example, create an image of a tomb where the stone is rolled away, right? And the thing is that ChatGPT sees the context in which we are, right? So we write an invitation for an Easter Sunday, and if I write, create an image of a tomb where the stone is rolled away, he already knows, oh, they are talking about Easter, and he knows the story of Easter, right? So here is an image where the stone is rolled away, and there is a cloth there, right? So, and now I can go in there more specific, yeah. For example, I can go and say, no, I don't want to have the tomb. I just want to see Mary after she saw Jesus. So I said, create an image of Mary Magdalene where Jesus showed himself to her after the resurrection. So, and he will create me an image of that. And then you can say, make it a photograph, for example, and it will make it more photography. and you can just add details you want to see, and it tries to do what you want. Sometimes it's not really doing what you do. Sometimes it helps if you start a new chat, right? A new chat you can start if you press this button here with the pencil in the left upper corner. If you press this, then you will start another chat, right? So what I want to show you is I want to add another picture there. So we say, make it as it would happen today, wearing clothes from today. That's fun because it just transforms the story into our time today. You can, for example, also say use a Filipino face for it or whatever. So it tries to really do what you need for the images you need for your post, right? Huh? So you see now this woman is now wearing jeans and there is a skyscraper in the back. So it's still not a photography, but it's an image, a paint. Okay, so that's what you can do. So you see you can be very creative here, and everything happens in a few seconds. The more you use it, the more it gets intuitive, and the more ChatGPT knows you. So it knows what you like, it knows how you would like to see things. It just learns from you while you're using it. Okay, so what you can use ChatGPT also for is to create an outline for your sermon, right? So we will have another webinar where we go more in depth into that, but I just want to show you today how this works and how easy it is, right? And then in that other webinar, we will go more into depth into this topic. So I just created this prompt. I just copy it there so you can see it. Create a sermon outline about the topic, "It does not fit me," based on the story of David and Goliath, where David is trying the armor of the king and it is not fitting him. This shows us that we need to follow our calling and use what God has given us, not what he has given someone else. So when I press enter, so he starts now a sermon called "It Does Not Fit Me." He puts the scripture reference there. So we have an introduction. I just don't read everything now, right? The opening and he gives us an idea, right? So he has the first point, the temptation to wear another's army, scripture, the context, right? The application, the truth, which is in there. And you have a second point, recognize what God has given you. The third point, walking in your God-given identity. Victory comes through God's power, not human methods. And then practical steps to apply. And now he is writing the conclusion of the whole thing. And now you can work through the outline and write your sermons. And you can tweak it, you can modify it the way you think it's good, right? You always have to check the output, right? That's what I said before. It might be wrong because ChatGPT is filled with all the theological things on this world, right? And it's just getting things out of these huge amount of data which is in there, and it writes a sermon outline with the most likely output to your request, but it could be wrong. So you need to check it, and you need to also read the scriptures again and stuff like this. So it doesn't take you away all the work, but it helps you. It gives you ideas. It gives you an outline where you can maybe go through and see, okay, that's a good idea I can use for my sermon, and then you can create your sermon. So that's the way you can do. So now we could work on every point of that sermon, and we could ask ChatGPT, can you do me the first point and get it to me, right? And write me the first point, make it for my sermon, right? Make it the sermon itself. So it will write you the sermon itself. As I said, you have always to check what's coming out. Now you can continue and work on every point of the sermon. The things is you need to check it all the time, and especially the Bible verses. Just please check them with your Bible that they are correctly. We don't want to spread wrong word into our congregations. It helps to make things easier and faster, but also with limitations, as I said. What you can do after you have a sermon, I was preaching in a church before, and they recorded it on YouTube, right? So I have a YouTube link here, and I can create a prompt. I would just do this. Here's the prompt, and then we read the prompt quickly. So I put in the YouTube link, and I say, find the key points and write 10 questions that can be discussed in a small group. Give me to each question 3 points for the small group leader to lead the discussion, right? So if I send this there, so now we reach a limitation of ChatGPT. It says it's unable to access the specific content of the YouTube video you provide. However, I can guide you on generate this. So he's guiding you how you can do this. And there is a website. It's called, it should be somewhere here. It's not here in this now, but it's called nodegpt.io. So if you go to this website, I open it up here. It's a YouTube transcribe generator. So you just use your YouTube, you place your video here, you say generate transcribe. So it takes just a second. So here's the transcription of my preaching, and then I can click the copy button. I go back to my ChatGPT. I paste the transcription of it, and then I can use my prompt from before, find the key points, and write me 10 questions for it. So let's go. So now ChatGPT is reading the transcription, and it starts to write me down the 10 key points. As you can see, trusting God is fundamental in our relationship with Him. So, and then here, the discussion. First question, what does it mean to trust God like a child? And then there's a leader's points where leaders can read, right? And they can keep the discussion ongoing, reflect on the trust children have in their parents, right? Or discuss how this compares to our trust in God for provision and protection. So this is a very easy way to create something for your small group leaders in a very fast way, right? So then you probably want to create reels out of your recording, right? And there's like very nice tools to create reels like CapCut. We have a teaching about CapCut. I won't teach it now, but you can ask ChatGPT. Now we had inputted our transcription, so there were like the times there, and I can just tell ChatGPT, find me 3 key statements and give me the timestamp for it, right? So if I do this, it looks through your script, and then here is the timestamp. So the key point, trust means accepting His plan even when we can't see the next steps. And then timestamp 10:19, and then content the speaker is explaining, and so on. And now you can go to the timestamp and get out this partial of the video for your reel, and you have a quick solution to have quickly a reel for your social media, right? About the sermon you had last Sunday. This is like a 5-minute work to do, and then you can put the captions there in CapCut, and you can just upload it, and your congregation can see these reels on social media. And you can help your pastor if you're a media worker to do that, right? So that's not only for pastors, that's for media workers to make your work much easier and faster. Then after that, you can also let ChatGPT create you 3 social media posts about the key points, and it will do this for you. And then it's also giving you an image concept. So you can just actually copy this. So let's copy this, and then it's already creating it here. So it's already creating the images to these posts it was creating for you. Trust in God's plan, and it's written there, the text, right? So that's an easy way to also create social media posts about your sermon from last Sunday, right? Very fast, very easy. And I mean, you don't have to use them, but maybe you get a good idea of what you want to do, right? And it helps you. It's just so fast and helps you to get ideas. I don't know if I would use these images, but yeah, it's a good start to work from, right? So, yeah. Okay, so another thing, a great use case for ChatGPT is to answer email chats. I love this because my English is not perfect, and then when I have to answer, it helps me a lot to write a good email to people. So let's just check this out. Let's imagine I got the following email. Hey, Pastor Martin, we would like to start a flag dance group in our church, and we would like to do flag dancing every Sunday during worship in front of the stage because we love God so much and want to express our love to God with flags. What do you think about it? Greetings, your flag dance team. Okay, so I appreciate these people because they love God with their heart and they just want to express it through their way. But on the other side, I know, so in my church in Germany, people would be irritated by people doing the flag dance in front of the stage every Sunday morning. And now I need to explain them that, right? And I want to give them the opportunity. They can do a flag dance maybe in a special event as a special thing, right? So what I do is I tell ChatGPT, copy the prompt for you here. I got this email and I want to tell them that it's not possible on Sundays because other people would be irritated. But we would include the dance in a special Sunday, give a nice and appreciating answer. And then I put the email in there, which they sent me so that the ChatGPT knows what I'm talking about. So let me see what ChatGPT is answering. So subject, dear flag team, thank you so much for reaching out and sharing your passion for expressing your love for God through the flag dancing. I truly appreciate the heart and enthusiasm you have for worship and your desire to glorify God in creative and meaningful ways. I don't read the whole thing, but you get the thing, right? So it's writing you a complete email, which is very, very good written already. So I can just take it and tweak it, check it, and change it a little bit here and there so that it fits the thing I want to say, but it helps me a lot. It makes the process of writing an answer so much faster than when I'm sitting there like in half an hour to think, so what word do I now use and how do I tell them the thoughts I have in a way that I wouldn't offend them. So this is like helping me a lot in doing this. So one more thing with ChatGPT are GPTs. That's something really, really nice. So let me show you the GPTs. You have here your GPTs, okay? So normally you have ChatGPT, you have Sora, and then you have Explore GPTs. Let me show you Sora in a short thing. Sora is the AI video generator, so you can create videos. I already prepared videos because it takes a while till they are created. So here I like this one the most. I will show you this. I said the prompt was a person holding a webinar sitting in front of a computer in the office. And that's the result of it, right? So this is only 5-second videos, but it shows you the capability of these AI models, right? So this is already included in ChatGPT. You can actually use it. It's very new. It's not there a long time. It's just a few weeks that it's available. And it is so good compared to all the other models we had before. This is just incredible, right? I don't want to go too deep in this now. Just wanted to show you that this is possible. So if you have a video and you need a short sequence, you can just create a short sequence for your video, right? Okay, so then you have the Explore GPTs. That's an interesting button. You can just play around there a little bit. And this will connect you to other tools that using ChatGPT or not, right? And you can write text there and these will do something. For example, this Python one, this is a programming GPT. I like that. So you go there, you say start a chat with this Python GPT. And then I prepared that also because it also took a little bit of time. Let me see where it is. Here. So I told it, write me a timestamp application for my church workers. So, and then it just programmed me a timestamp application here in ChatGPT. So I can just copy this code and put it in a file, and then I can start it. Now I want to show you this because it's very fun. I need to just stop my screen sharing and change the thing I want to show you. Share screen. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Okay, let's get this on the stage. Okay, you can see it. So when I type now in, I prepared this already. Python 3 timestamp.py. That's my program. So church worker timestamp system. Clock in. So I say, okay, I want to clock in. I press 1. Enter your worker ID. 1, 2, 3, 4. Enter your name. Martin. And now I'm clocked in. So now I'm done with my work. I say 2. My worker ID 1, 2, 3, 4. My name is Martin. I mean, this is really rudimentary, right? But it's just should show you that it's capable of doing something, programming work for you. Now I can say generate me a report, right? So, and now here I see all the people who are clocked in and clocked out. So it's created me a timestamping system. And that took just maybe a minute, right? So I'm using it often when I'm doing programming things to write me some code and help me with writing the code I need. So let me go back to ChatGPT. Here we are. Get this to the stage here. Here we see it. Okay. So that's something I wanted to show you. And then GPTs. You can create your own GPTs, and that's where the fun begins, right? So I have my Doug Martin. That's our what I want to, I don't know. It's our brand for my wife and me for my missions work. My wife is called Dagmar, and I'm Martin. So that together that's Doug Martin. So that's why it's called Doug Martin. So what I did is I can go here to edit my GPT, and that's what I wanted to show you. You can create your own GPT. Why is it not opening here? Edit. Okay, here we are. So I give it the name, I give it a description, and then I give it instructions. These are German instructions, so I have them here in English for you. So what's written here in German is what I read you now. You are Doug Martin, a missionary in the Philippines. Your ministry involves working with Asia-Pacific media. You're organizing conferences, program web apps, stay updated on new technologies, assist with video production, host webinars and tech tips, topics, help record podcasts and events, and train church media workers across Southeast Asia in various media fields. It's important that I assist you in writing newsletters for your donors and scripts for monthly short video updates, ensuring a consistent style throughout. So what it's doing is, this is the task it has to do, right? And then I uploaded all my newsletter PDF files to it. And then I clicked here in additional settings that it should not use these data for training the model, because I don't want that, right? So, but what this is doing is it reads all my newsletters, and when I want to write a new article for a newsletter, or if I write something to post on social media or whatever, it will write me the thing in the way I wrote my newsletters. So it learns my style of writing and explaining things. And the next thing is, if I, for example, I talked about Likha in one of my newsletters, and when I now talk about Likha, it takes the information from that other newsletter and uses it for example, to explain what Likha is, because I explained it in that newsletter. I don't have to write it there because it already has the knowledge about it and it includes it in this writing. So this is my personal assistant that I can train the way I want it to work for me. And that's really a really nice thing. You should really try this out, and you can use this for your, maybe you have a church news or something. You just put all them in there so you have always the same style. For your social media posts, if you have a special way of writing, to just put all your posts in there, and then ChatGPT will help you write these posts in the style you were writing it. So, okay. That's how this works. I cannot show you this because it's in German, then you wouldn't see that it's the same style, but you can try it out for your own. So that's the GPTs. You just go here to explore GPTs, and then you can go to my GPTs, and then you can create a GPT, and there you can create a GPT from scratch, right? Okay. You can also share the GPTs with other people. So if you have a team, you can share the GPTs with others so they can use your GPT. So I don't know, we have already, the time is very far. Maybe I will ask JR and Patrick, is it okay to go on to the critical things about AI, or should we do a Q&A right now? How is it with the time? Okay, I guess it's okay. Okay, let's go on a little bit, and then we'll see. It's not too long anymore. So we go back to my thing here. And so there are different, so what, let me see where I am here. Okay, what can we do to not stay behind technology? So let me go to my, what can we do to not stay behind technology? The thing is that technology is evolving so fast, and we are hardly getting the speed of these technologies, right? So it's really difficult to keep up with these technologies. So, but you need to educate yourself, for example, with this kind of webinars, right? They help you to educate yourself about technologies. You need to get a basic knowledge about technologies. You need to get the basic words, right? So when we talk about a large language model, that you know, oh, that's a large language. You don't have to understand every detail, but you should at least know, oh, there's a large, that has something to do with AI and how they create the answers, right? So that you have at least a basic vocabulary about technology and a basic understanding about technologies. It's also connected to the point to educate yourself, right? So you need to educate yourself to get the knowledge, right? So that's the connection. Then networking is important, like our MMF forum, right? It's good to be there. You can ask questions if you don't understand a technology. People will help you. You can learn from them. If you do something and you're not sure, just ask people to help you with these. Ask your media people, ask other media people from other churches to help you with AI, for example. And then you need to be open for new things, right? That's so important, that our heart is not closed about new things. It should be open about new things. And we will talk about the fear of AI in a second. And you need to live a feedback and reflection culture in your church. Let people give you feedback for technologies. What if people fear AI? There are different levels of fear, like from people who have the fear that we use AI for our church work, up to people who fear that AI will take over the world and will lock down everything, and the Terminator is coming and will kill us all, right? So you have this bandwidth of people who are fearing. For me personally, technology is not evil and also not good, but it can be used for evil and it can be used for good. For example, when I think about all the medical benefits AI will give us, that's just amazing. So I read an article the last days where the AI can detect breast cancer 5 years earlier than a cancer specialist. Just seeing an image of the breast, the CT of a breast or whatever that is, right? And it can detect it already 5 years earlier, and they can treat it 5 years earlier than before. And that's a huge benefit of AI. But then it can be used for evil things like a drone that can decide who it will kill, right? That's the other side. So there are both sides of it, and we need to use it for good. So we want to use it for building the kingdom of God, and it's a huge benefit for us to use it because it helps us to do our work much faster, to have more time to connect with people, to talk to people, and to spend time with them. And it's also, there is this guy from India who got saved through AI. I mean, for me, it's not the main thing of an AI to get people saved, but it should help us to get people to Christ, right? And that's what I want to use it. So what I discovered when people fear AI is that there are 3 main reasons for that. The first reason is the lack of knowledge. Then the second reason is they are overwhelmed with these AI topic, and I understand that, right? It's a huge thing, and it's really big and fast. And the third thing is a loss of significance. Often people who fear AI often doesn't know what they are talking about. AI is nothing new. AI is there since so many years already. It's just that a new form of AI came into focus with these LLM systems, that everybody understands what happens there. In the background, we are already used to use AI technology since years already. For example, our navigation systems, Siri, Google, where we talk to our smartphones. Machine learning, this is already years old. Machine learning, right, is a form of AI. So AI is not really new, it's there already for years. But people often fear things they don't understand, and then there are controversials in media, which then makes it even worse, right? Because there's this guy who says this about AI, and then there's this guy and he says this, and because of the lack of knowledge, you don't know what's true, and then you're better not using it because maybe it's bad, right? So I understand that, and I also know that there's a huge risk in AI if it is not handled right. But with a lack of knowledge, this will quickly be the end-time scenario where the world will be overflowed with AI robots who take over the world, and the humans will be destroyed, right? So, like Hollywood shows us this very often. People are overwhelmed by the things that come their way. They think they have to know and master all the tools which are there, and they are overwhelmed by what they see. They don't know what is true. Is it a deep fake, this video? Is it a true image? Is it real? Is it not real? What can I believe? What is true? What is wrong? Right? They are just overwhelmed with all these things, right? And with this question, what is original and true? They are emotionally overwhelmed, or also professionally. I know when we bring in a new tool in our office, that in Germany, our ladies are often so, oh no, another tool, I don't want to use it, right? but it helps them. But they need to know what it is for and how it can help them, and you have to explain them how to use it, and they don't know that they don't have to fear it, but use it because it saves them a lot of time. And then when they get it, they love it, right? They don't want to work without it. So that's the thing with AI. To change things is sometimes a long process in a world that changes more quickly every day. And the third thing is something what I hear often, that people say, if this is working so good, my job will not be there in the future. Especially people who work with text content like news, social media, programmers, and many more. Yes, there will be some jobs that will not be there in the future because of AI. For example, in our missions organization, we have people who do the accounting, and in this area, we want to put in more AI to reduce the workload for the people. We won't fire these people. We just release them to do other stuff they can't do because they need to do this accounting thing, right? It's very time consuming. But that's what I think. So I don't think that AI will take all our jobs. It will just give us other things to do to manage the AI or to do other things. And maybe we need to do something else, right? And that's good. It's not bad. It will help us in many ways. So what can we do with these fears in our churches? We need to educate people on AI. That's very important. We need to tell them what it's capable of, and we need to tell them the limits. And then the second thing is we need to define guidelines how we want to use AI in our church, right? And we as a mission organization in Germany, we have started to do our guidelines, and I want to show you this just that you get an example on how this looks like. If I can open it here, 1 second. So, and then I share the screen, and that's also the last point there. Stop, present. This one, and then put it up there. Can you make this bigger here? Yeah, that's good. So innovation and responsibilities. AI can contribute to making work more efficient and productive. Example including strategic planning, research, personal assistance, and the creation of editorial or media content. Employees are encouraged to boldly and creatively explore developments in AI and responsibly integrate them into the global work of our organization. And then we have an ethical framework. AI as a technology is neither morally good or bad. Its use must align with the Christian values and principles upheld by VM International. Human creativity and diligence. The use of AI should not replace human thinking, creativity, and intuition, but rather stimulate and complement them. AI-generated content must be reviewed by humans for accuracy. Editorial content in particular is subject to journalistic diligence. Transparency. Whenever AI-generated content is used beyond our preliminary draft, it must be clearly identified as such. And then data protection, copyright sensitive data must not be used in AI application outside of MS Office 365 or should only be used in an anonymized manner. Employees must ensure they have the rights to use, modify, and distribute AI-generated content in the respective country without violating copyright laws. Question and future development, and then there's the public relations team department, which they can contact for questions about AI. So this is our guideline for now, and we will continue working on it so people know how they can use AI in the future, right? So let me stop the screen share. Yes, so that's actually the first part of the introduction to AI. And now we will have a short Q&A, I think, where you can just ask some questions, and I try to answer whatever I can answer. And yeah, and then we have in 2 weeks the second part where we will look into more tools that help us in our everyday church life. Okay.
All right.
Good job, Martin.
Yeah. Thank you, Martin. That was even if it's an intro to AI ministry, it's somewhat comprehensive already. You toured us
Yes.
through different uses of Chat GPT for ministry.
Yeah. ChatGPT should pay you already, Martin, because of how you
Yeah,
promoted
it's a
them tonight.
compressed.
Yeah.
It's very compressed, right? It's a lot of information today. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
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 So guys, if you have question for our instructor for this evening, Martin, please type it in the chat, right? And we'll get those questions to him in a second. All right. So before we go to the questions, let me just give out our question of the night for a chance to win an AP Media T-shirt or
Mhm.
merch. All right. So the
Yeah.
question is: give one feature of ChatGPT mentioned in this webinar. Right. So Martin mentioned three features of ChatGPT. So just name one, and you get the chance to win an AP Media shirt
Okay.
later
So
on.
they can
So
type in their answers now, right?
yeah, they can type in their answers now. All right. So JR bro, let's read some comments and
Yes.
questions from our viewers.
Okay, let's check them. So yeah, daming comments tonight. And so one question right now from Carl is one of the questions that came in early. Do you know any project or model that cater or center in church settings, Martin? I know you showed some samples already or GPTs, but is there any particular one that's mainly for churches?
Yeah, there is a project called Nicodemus.ai. We will look at this the next webinar. And
Mm.
this is for Bible studies, especially for Bible studies.
Okay, that's good.
But we will look at this in the next webinar, and it will help us to create sermons and stuff like this.
Cool. Okay.
All right. So that AI is Nicodemus, right? So they can check that
Nicodemus,
out.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So next, Ben Ray is asking: is the image generation feature available in the free version of ChatGPT?
I must. I don't know. You just have to try it. Just go to
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
Well,
It's easy to create an account with Google, um, and just type in create an image, and you will see if it's working. I don't know.
well, for me, I'm using a free ChatGPT. So yeah, you can generate images, but just a limited number of times.
Hmm.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so some comments already are coming in. So, Miss Miriam says, "Thank you for this webinar. Very informative, daw, Martin."
You're
And she
welcome.
says, "Awesome job, po."
Yeah,
Thank you very
and
much.
also thank you to Carl for sending stars.
Yun,
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Carl.
And
Thank you.
ayun, okay. So we have another question from Mac. How can churches navigate the ethical challenges of using AI when it comes to privacy bias and misinformation?
So that's a good question. Um,
Mhm.
ChatGPT. I mean, you could, for example, do a counseling with ChatGPT, right? Or use it for that. But that's an area where I think we shouldn't use AI for, and that's why we have these guidelines, and we will
Mm,
extend the guidelines and look in the ways where we will use it and where not. Uh, um, because I think, especially like in counseling and talks and things like this, it's so important that you have someone sitting in front of you and you talk to him, and there is a
mm,
human being, not a machine, because a machine cannot get your emotions the way a human can, right? And so, but we're also finding out what areas we will use AI and what not. So that's a little bit on yourself. Um, but for example, privacy for us, we said we won't put any personal data of other people into any AI which is not hosted by ourselves, right? So where we don't know where the data is going. So we don't want to compromise any privacy things of any people, and everybody in our missions organization knows that we don't do that, right?
Cool.
With
Interesting.
misinformation, that's difficult. It's hard to know what's true and what's right and what's wrong, right? It's yeah, it's almost the system's getting so much better every day that
Yeah.
it's getting harder and harder to really to see what's really true and what not.
Yeah. Uh, it would also be good to, if you want to know if it's where the source is, you can actually ask ChatGPT where does it get the source, and it will
Yeah,
actually put it out there, a link going to a page, or where he got the information from.
yeah. We will look at another tool next in the next webinar too, which
Mm,
will give you more of the sources and the websites and the stuff where it gets the information from.
mhm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
That'll be
So
interesting. That'll be interesting topic, Martin.
yeah, another question from Mac. How can AI be utilized to optimize audio and lighting during worship services, ensuring a seamless and engaging experience for in-person and online attendees? Can ChatGPT do that, or any for that matter?
Uh, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd
We
like
will
to know
we
also
will
the answer to that.
That would be
yeah
interesting.
we will have a audio webinar in some weeks, and
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
Rico knows more about it because he is the audio guy. Maybe he has some AI who is helping with that. I mean, for lighting, sometimes what it can help you is to program stuff in lighting. So you can ask ChatGPT to help you programming this and this show or something like this. But
Mhm.
to optimize it for this, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, for post production, I think there's AIs already for that. Pero yung live, I'm not sure if there's
Yeah.
one
So
available na free. That'll be
But
exactly.
interesting.
So in
you,
post production, the Adobe Suite has a lot of AI tools now to optimize image quality, audio quality, and stuff like this. So I think maybe there is something for live, but I don't know it. Yeah.
Cool.
all right.
Okay,
So
let's do this interesting question, Martin. With regards to earlier, you were showing how to use ChatGPT like for creating sermons, like the sermon outline, and
Hmm.
you mentioned you have to check, the content of the answers. So, question would be, how can AI tools like ChatGPT or others be used to improve siguro sermon preparation or community engagement without compromising the personal touch for ministry and like siguro the ethics and do you have answer to that?
I didn't get the question yet. So the question is.
Like in creating sermon, like in preparing sermons,
Hmm.
like what's your stand in that, like how do they ethically, I think, use AI in starting off their sermon creation?
You know, as a pastor, um, I asked ChatGPT, for example, I have a topic for my Sunday service. I asked ChatGPT to give me an outline,
Mm.
but I need to think the whole outline through.
Yeah.
If this is really theologically correct, and if it's really expressing what I want to express or what I feel the Spirit wants to express through me. I don't think that AI will replace the communication between myself and God. That's important that I get my inspiration from God for the sermon. But it can help me, to, for example, to find a story for my preaching, which will just explain what I want to say, right?
Mhm.
Or it can help me to find the right Bible verses. Or when sometimes I have a Bible verse in my mind, but I don't know where it's written in, and I just type in ChatGPT, where is this written? And then it gives me
Mm.
the Bible verse, and it makes it just much faster, right? So
Yeah.
that way, I would say you can use and utilize it.
Good answer, Martin. Actually, as you were teaching that earlier, I asked ChatGPT like, is it ethical to use ChatGPT to create sermon outlines? And it created this very interesting answer. But what stood out to me is like it says, ultimately the key is balance and integrity. Like
Mm.
using it responsibly and thoughtfully, can enhance a pastor's sermon.
What I always say is, please keep your printed Bibles, um, because all the online tools can be changed in the future,
Mm,
right? I mean,
yeah.
if you fill ChatGPT with wrong Bible verses, then it will give out wrong Bible verses, and you cannot check it if you don't
Mm,
have a printed version of a Bible, right?
yeah, that's
So
good. It's
a
a good
printed
point.
version of a Bible is a trustful uh, measurement to check what's ChatGPT or any AI gives out, right?
Good
Yeah.
point.
It's always good to, cross-reference
Mm.
whatever ChatGPT is saying, especially with verses and, like even for me, I use ChatGPT for sermon preparation, like with research. So, like looking for a certain word, what does it mean in original text?
Mm.
It helps a lot with that. So yeah, it's like
So
during
also
our time,
historical
like with
things, right?
media.
You can ask
Yeah,
how
yeah,
was the
historical.
Roman Empire, or
That's
how
right.
was it in this time. So it just gives you an answer, right? That
Mm,
helps. Yeah.
Mm,
yeah.
that's good. Yeah, with follow up natin, no? Like ang ganda nung like this comment like from Jen Rose. Like it says there's risks like in theological accuracy and lack of spiritual discernment. But Martin, how will you advise siguro church members to use it without being misled with the information they get? Like yes, cross reference,
Yeah. Cross
review, check,
reference. Read your Bible.
read your Bible talaga, yeah.
Read your Bible.
Listen to your
Read your
pastor.
Research.
Bible, pray every
If
day.
you're unsure about something, ask your
Mm,
pastor.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, especially in theological. If it's a theological thing, then probably ask your pastor if this is correct or not. If you're unsure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
good.
I think that's where community comes in. If you are
Yeah.
part of a community, they will give you feedback on what you say and what you hear. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, thank you. That's good.
like all right. Okay. So, guys, again, if you have further question for our instructor, he is part of our Media and Ministry Forum Facebook group. So, if you are not yet part of Media and Ministry Forum on Facebook groups, please just search for Media and Ministry Forum on Facebook and join today. Join today. Join
Mm.
and be part of our community. And in that community, we discuss different things about media, and we help each other find answers to our questions. All
Yes. And
right.
then there you can find also Martin. If you have more questions about what he taught tonight, you can find him there. Again, Martin, thank you for sharing your insights and expertise with regards to
Yeah.
these topics. Very interesting talaga.
So for
Yeah,
me, it
and
would be very interesting when you just write in the forum what AIs you're using, because it would help
Mm,
us too to find maybe some tools we don't know yet, but you
mm.
use it, and we can share it, and yeah, get to know about it.
yeah. Yeah, so we are not yet done. This is only part one of our intro to AI for church ministry. We still
Mm,
have part two, so make sure to mark your calendars. All right, 2 weeks from now, so that would be uh, February. All right, and yeah, so make sure to mark your calendars. We'll also be putting up our Facebook event
mm.
to notify you when we're going live.
Yes. Oy, siguro i-announce na natin yung winner sa ating question of the night. So ang
All right.
question natin is,
So the question of the night is what's one of the features of ChatGPT? And the first one to answer was
Ten.
Burnett
Mananalo sa media
Mon
merch.
in
Sino?
Lopez.
Uy,
God
bago
bless.
yan.
Yeah,
Yun,
yeah. So
congratulations.
congratulations. Sagot is brainstorm ideas. That's one of the features. So
Yes.
congratulations, you won an AP Media shirt. So please send us a private message on our Asia Pacific Media PH Facebook page. So para to claim your prize.
Yon. And to everyone po, this live stream is playable, replayable. So share it with your friends. Yung mga hindi nakatutok ngayong gabi, I'm sure this will be of value to them. So share this stream with them.
Ayun. So again, Limitless Conference happening on May 24, 2025. Registration is open, 650 pesos
Right now.
for lunch, no? For the whole day. And the first 200 registrants get a free shirt,
Yes.
conference shirt.
Yes, and for more webinars, things that we're putting out, yung ating podcast, mga evangelistic videos that we share, check out our Facebook page, Asia Pacific Media PH, and also send stars to this ministry to support what we're doing, making sure na matuto rin yung mga ibang nangangailangan ng mga trainings like this.
Ayun. Okay, so it's time to say goodbye for now. We'll see you again.
Yes. Bye.
Yeah, so thank you, Martin.
Thank you,
For coming.
Martin.
We'll see
Ingat
you
ka dyan,
again.
Martin.
See you guys.
Alright,
Bye.
so magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. My name is Pat.
And ako si JR from the video production team. Salamat for joining us tonight.
Alright, good night po. God bless.